Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to a very much needed new update on Avax and Avalanche. We're going to do a full update in this video. We'll talk about the fundamentals briefly, then we'll talk about the technicals. There's a lot I want to talk about regarding the technicals and a lot we need to discuss in general, because obviously with the bearish pullback, that not the one that we had on Monday. The one on Monday we actually were able to recover incredibly well, to be fair. But the drop that we had on Thursday for Avax was very aggressive, more aggressive than I expected. And it's bad news, all right? Because the key level that we needed to hold, and the key level that we were holding back in Tuesday and Wednesday as well still, was this level between $30 and $31. And on the higher time frames, that level matters a lot. All right, and we have not lost it on the higher time frames. On the weekly time frame, we've not lost it. On the 3-day time frame, we've not lost it either. But we're pretty close to that. And if we're not able to gain some lower time frames, so we're looking at the daily time frame right now, I think that's the lowest we'll go. I think that's important. The daily time frame will tell us a lot. But if we're not going to be able to get a reclaim above $30 right here, it's bad news. All right, and then we have to conclude that all of this price action up here was just a fake out. And the implications that would have would be quite bearish. But we'll talk about that in a moment. Briefly wanted to talk about the fundamentals first. I still think that the fundamentals regarding digital asset treasuries and all the news that we had regarding that for Avax specifically in the last 2-3 weeks, I still think that's bullish. Right? I'm not certain how that's going right now. I think it's in process. I don't think any Avax has been bought up yet. But that's one of the key reasons why Avax will remain on my watch list in terms of coins that I want to keep an eye on for the remainder of Q4, which obviously we're not in yet, but for Q4, that I think can rally well. However, things like that can take some time, right? And at this point of time, they have no effect, or at least they have had their effect, and it's diminishing. And fundamentally, if we look at Avax, I also don't necessarily see the strength that I would like to see. The TVL was doing quite good up until last week, but you can see that the TVL has also rapidly decreased together with the price. So has there really been any major network growth, or has the TVL just moved together with the price? Because a lot of that V in the TVL is in Avax coins. It seems to me that it's the latter. All right, so then we do have some other strong fundamentals like DEX trading volumes were great, right? So it's not that the fundamentals are all bad, definitely not, but it's also not enough to hold the price up. And ultimately what we've seen right now for Avax makes me slightly bearish, at least on the short term. And I think you should be too. Like, we had a very good reaction, first of all, at $31 and $30, but then we dropped down below that with high volume. I deleted the volume from the chart, but trust me, the volume was quite high, right? The volume was quite high, the selling was quite aggressive, and we dropped down below $30, which $30, in my opinion, is the bare minimum we need to hold. Maybe 29.5, but that would very much be the bare minimum. We dropped down below that with volume. Then yesterday we had some strong recovery from the yearly rolling VWAP, but you can see we instantly rejected back at 29.3 right here. 29.5, my apologies. So technically this looks bad. And I would say, especially with the uncertainty in the markets, like, I think there's a good chance that Bitcoin forms a local bottom, but Avax itself, like that, so that would be positive for Avax as well. But Avax itself, it just looks like we're pushing down lower, and that we're at least going to drop down into this level between $26 and $25, which is the previous range value area high, and that from there we'll have another chance. That looks like a pretty good opportunity, but ultimately what we need to see with Avax, and short term, I would say it's most likely that we're going to drop down lower, or at least that's best to expect. But ultimately, what we need to do either from there, or if we're not going to pull back, I mean, obviously, like I said, I mean, if Bitcoin forms a local bottom here, we might not get this pullback. But the key thing to do is reclaim $30. If we're able to do that, I think Avax is a very good opportunity because of those, digital asset treasuries and other news. Then it's a good opportunity, but we need to do that. If we're unable to do that by Monday, Tuesday, maybe, I would say it's a real bearish breakdown. This is a fake out, and we're going to drop down lower. So I'll keep you updated on that, but that's a bit of a heads up. That's a bit of an update I think you need to know for now. So thank you for watching. Have a good weekend, everybody, and bye.